Okay, so while I'm waiting for others to join, so Tina is being at home being girl boss, and she manages, she's running a company, and so she is not able to join us, but that's okay because actually this month has gotten away from me a lot of things going on, and next month as well. I know I'm going to be really busy with traveling and whatnot, so I actually thought it was a perfect time. So I do the usually do the monthly forecast for all the signs, and I just didn't have time to do it so far this month. So I figured, let me jump on and I will do the monthly forecast for everyone. I want to give just a general theme for everyone, kind of the things I've been picking up on. Spirit has been, there's a lot going on in the world right now, obviously. We were all kind of affected by it in one way or another. It doesn't matter what it is. 2020 started off with a bang. Let's just, it's just what it is. And it's been a lot. There's been a lot of energies going on. And I just feel like we need to talk about it. So I want to do that. And so I'll talk a little bit about the energies, and then I will go into just forecast for each one of the signs. So if any of you follow astrology, I'm going to do based off the signs. I'm not an astrologer, but I definitely feel energies when I connect with each one of the signs. So I'll go through and do that as well. And then hopefully if you guys have any questions, or we'll go through that as well. So hi, Yoko. Hi, Carla. Thanks for joining. I appreciate it. So yeah, so there's a lot of stuff that's been going on lately. A lot of people have been impacted things in the world and feeling a lot of heavy energies, if you will. And what was it? Yesterday morning, I woke up and just like usually when spirit, I'll get kind of purging dreams throughout the night. But immediately when I woke up, it was like this download came to me about, and it all kind of started with the only thing to fear is fear itself. That's the Franklin D. Roosevelt. That's his kind of saying that he has, or a quote from him. And it's so true because it applies to everything in life. I think a lot of people, it doesn't matter what situation has been going on, whether it's something you've witnessed, something that you've seen in your own community. Obviously, we have the coronavirus going on right now, so that's a lot of people are, the fear is just wrangling up. And I want to encourage everyone to stay in that space of love. So what I was shown was, and it's beautiful too, because I don't know if any of you follow Ask Angels. Melanie is her name. I got this message, and then she posted this thing, and a few other people said, I got the same thing when I woke up. And so I feel like a lot of people are kind of, especially a lot of people that are more empathic and in tune to the energies around us, are sort of getting the call to raise the vibration, to send love and not contribute to any sort of energies. And hi, Jolene. And so it's really important that we all love to any place where you have any fear. The other thing that's really important too is because a lot of people, and I talked about this on I think it was the last show that we had, but basically, a lot of people too, when they're dabbling, people fear what they don't understand. It doesn't matter, and when they fear, they become threatened, and it's like an invader, whether it's a reality or not. It's something that they fear, and they kind of react accordingly. And so again, I just really would encourage everyone to kind of stay in that space of love and sending love and light to situations, to energies. I do feel like I've been trying to tune into the energy of what's with the coronavirus. I actually am supposed to be going to Italy next month for my 40th birthday. And so obviously I've been thinking about that. What does that look like? All the ramifications and all those things. And I do feel like there is any sort of hysteria can add to it, can kind of exacerbate it. But I do feel like there is going to be love energy that's poured into that space. And I feel like things are going to ease up. And it's almost like Spirit's showing me now, I don't know exactly when, but it's almost like it just sort of stops becoming things to talk about in the news, that other things come up as well. So that's kind of what I'm seeing. It's really a difficult situation because this shows free will and energy of people, right? And so this is all about, a lot of times when people, if they ask me or any other psychics, what's going to happen, wanting to predict the future, in some cases it's very difficult because it's the free will, right? Sometimes I'll be shown a path of, this is what could happen if the energy and the vibration is in alignment, but here's another path as well. And so it's really important for people to understand that. That's why when they say you are the creator of your life, I've had some people where I've read for them and I pick up on an energy that it's like, this is what I see, this is what's happening. But I also see this is what needs to be worked on in terms of your energy. They go and make the changes and I don't see that path anymore. I see a much, more conducive path of what they're wanting to go down, not this other path that was less favorable for them. And so I can't emphasize that enough, that we all really do have the capability to create our reality, our future, and whatever that looks like. And so that's the biggest thing I want to communicate to everyone. If I could kind of leave you guys with one thing, it's really about spreading loving energy, and just to people around you too. Just, we're all in some ways carrying something. We all have a lot of emotions, have a lot of heavy energy from one thing or another. And if we can all sort of just collectively come together and lean on each other for that. And, it's the little things. And, my husband's big on that. He'll just, I kind of get into the space where if I'm out trying to get something done, busy with working and stuff, I'm just focused. I go into the store, I get what I need, and I'm out. My husband will sit there and talk to the cashiers and just, how are you doing today? And it's like, God, like, you can learn so much from people. And I'm so thankful that he does that, because it really sort of gets me to look at things differently. And we've made connections with people, and some people, we find out their stories, and a lot of times we just sort of forget that everyone's got something going on. So that's really the biggest thing. Just give each other love, spread kindness to each other, and just really be in that space of helping one another out and contributing, raising the vibration, versus kind of everyone goes into this scarcity space. It's not conducive. So that's the biggest message I wanted to give. I do feel like when I tune into the energy of March, so again, I'm going to just kind of go through the energies of what I'm feeling for the month of March, because I won't be putting out my videos for March. Because I do have some other things going on. And but this is a perfect opportunity to be able to do that. So I want to be able to still kind of give back and give the messages of what I'm getting, and then use the show to do that as well. So perfect. So when I was tuning into March, the energy of what I was getting is it was like going in an elevator and kind of it getting stuck. And I don't ever want any messages to be negative, so bear with me, because there's kind of the lining, the silver lining in this. But it does feel like for March there is going to be a little bit of a a feeling in some cases where I don't want to say that, but it's almost like a jarring, like where you have to pause when you're sort of stuck in that space. You get to where you're kind of in this elevator. And it's interesting because it's a little like the whole, where they're doing some of the quarantine and stuff. Think of it like almost like within your life, you're in that space where you're stuck in this elevator, and you have time to reflect. You have time to sort of make decisions. And it's when you're in that space and you sort of go into a bit of a panic, it's also like having to look at certain aspects of your life. You're literally in the space where you have nothing else to focus on but yourself, in terms of what changes do I need to make. So I feel like for a lot of people, it's going to be a month of us sort of pulling back a little bit from the outside world, kind of a forced seclusion, if you will. I do feel like a lot of people are going to be kind of pulling back from social media. I do. I've noticed from I'll get kind of a feeling up front about it, and then I'll start to see others kind of do a little bit of the same. And so I've actually been in that space for last couple of months where I feel like I just want to pull back. I want to pull back a little bit in terms of feeling, bombarded by people's energy, because we all know social media is it's good. It has many good benefits. We connect with like-minded people, all those things, but also sometimes you get dumped on. There's not a filter, right? And so it's kind of like watching the news, but it's all over the place. And so again, those one of the things I would encourage you guys to do. Hi, Marcy. Thanks for joining. I'm sorry, I wanted to make sure I was acknowledging. And then Cassidy, your love story on fire. Hi, my ascension light. Thank you guys for joining again. I appreciate it. Yeah, so it's good to do that, and there's nothing wrong with it. And I do feel like a lot of people were going through this transition, you guys. I do, and it's scary because right at the beginning of the year, boom, 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 things have been happening. It's almost like we're coming into a new world. And as a result of that, we're shifting. And so when things like this happen, the positive aspect I see about it is because we're sort of, people's belief systems are shaking up a bit in terms of being more open. The world expands when these things happen. I see this, I feel like this is going to be happening with a lot of people, a lot of expansion, both personally and outwardly as well, the world around us. And so I feel like this is very broad, but I do feel like there is going to be the shift of this energy, people making a lot of changes for them. It's about what do I want, not what am I doing for other people. And so, because when you honor yourself and you take care of yourself, it's like putting the mask on, right? You're honoring yourself, and then you outwardly reflect that back to others. And so when you're sitting in your authentic self and being truly authentic to who you are and not trying to kind of be anything else, it really, you approach the world in a different way, because you're just like, here I am, I'm not anyone but who I am. It's just like this, like, you guys, I'm not gonna lie. When Tina told me that she had to work late, I was like, I'm not going to do this. I can't just sit there and talk to myself. It's like, but I knew Spirit told me you're going to have to at some point put yourself out there and not have a crutch, not have someone else where you feel like you have to lean on them. And it's so ironic, because that's what Spirit was showing me in terms of the theme for March and where we're all sort of going to. It's all these things where we tend to rely on others, or we tend to seek outward in order for us to feel complete and whole. And at the end of the day, we're complete just by ourselves. The other thing I'll say to that too is, I don't know if I even want to go there, because some people are wrapped up in an identity where it's almost like there has to be someone else to complete them. And that's not, that you guys are whole in and of yourself. You don't need another person to complete you. Now, if they come along and it's part of your highest good, then great. Then it's just a completion of who you are. But when you get to that's where you've sort of really truly kind of gotten to that space of, it's funny because my daughter had that too, where she's just like, that's it. I'm going to focus on me. And literally that minute, this amazing man comes into her life. And so she's having fun with it, though. She's not approaching it like she used to. So I just feel like I need to, I just want you guys to know you're whole. And so it's really about acknowledging that whole and don't looking towards the outside world for distractions. So that's really the message I feel like I want to give to you guys for the month of March. But again, I will go through the signs and give specifics. And so just want to catch up here on the chat, because I am looking at that as well. Okay, and so Candace, I'll make sure to give, I want to make sure, bless to your message. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you for the super chat. I appreciate that. I wasn't sure if there was a question. I'm still learning the super chat here. Okay, and then predictions for, okay, perfect. I'll go through those. And then, hi, Naomi. I've been feeling this too. Yep, it feels like it's the end of the world as we know it. In a scary way. That's awesome. Oh my gosh, Naomi, you're so right. Oh, I don't know why, but reading what you just said, I'm getting emotional because it's the purge, right? It's this feeling, and I'm telling you guys, I've been having some moments where I just had to just get it out, and it's hard because we have to go there. We have to be willing to pull that up, and so it's taking a moment to just let it out. And for me, it comes in a really good cry. We take on a lot, and it's okay for us to let it out. And so what you just said, Naomi, I just kind of like, I feel it, but it is a good thing. You know, it's like, I know this is a weird analogy, but it's almost like when you are sick and you vomit, you feel better. That's exactly what it is. There's no other way to describe it. And so that's really what we're going through. We're kind of vomiting out what is not in resonance with us anymore. And sometimes it's a process. It's the purge process, and sometimes it doesn't feel great, but so that's kind of what it is. Let me see here. Mercy, this message is timely for me. Big love to you. Okay, perfect. Thank you. I'm so glad that I'm glad. I always ask Spirit to say, you know, whatever they need to hear, just let me be the medium in which to communicate that. So hi, AJ. Thanks for joining. Miss Naku, thank you. Yes, perfect. And then hi, Amy. All right, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go through each one of the signs for March. So I'm just asking Spirit for any messages for each one of the signs. So I'm just going to pull this down a little bit so you can see the cards. And I'm just going to use my cards here. These cards I created before doing mediumship, when I started to kind of Spirit uses symbols to show any sort of medium. They have a lot of symbols. You'll hear them talk about, you know, they're showing me my sign for this. Teresa Caputo, any of them, they talk about that. We all have signs, right? And so what I started doing is basically putting them in a deck and using them I want people to be able to see the sign and know kind of that's what. Now they might be different for different people, but sometimes now Spirit will fast hand and show me my sign here. So all right, so we're going to start with Pisces. It is let me just make sure that that's perfect. Okay, so we're going to start with Pisces for the month of March, and happy birthday to all the Pisces out there. Mine's March 9th, and so if any of you fellow Pisces, happy birthday. All right, let's see, Spirit, what messages do you have for Pisces for the month of March? Okay, new beginnings. Yes, I love it. Okay, so sorry guys, this is going to be unedited and unfiltered. It is what it is. So, but I'm definitely excited about this because that's exactly what we were talking about. And me being a Pisces myself, I definitely feel it. You know, I'm in the vomit stage. So yeah, so new beginnings for you Pisces. I'm just going to see if Spirit has anything else to say about that. Some of you might be starting, they're showing me there might be a move, a transition. So this might be a physical move. This might be something to where you're actually traveling, or there might be like I just see movement for you. So there might be a job change as well. So for the month of March for you, Pisces, that's what I'm seeing there. And I'll just sort of, let me just see if there's anything else here. Yeah, and I also do feel like some of you are going to be, I'm seeing my symbol for connecting with third eye, and I do feel like some of you are going to be possibly expanding your third eye as well. There's going to be deepening connection with Spirit. I feel like a lot of you are going to be opening up more, and I mean, that kind of makes sense in terms of the purge, right? There's that ascension process. But you guys also take things through your filter in a different way. I feel like there's going to be some deep resonance with everyday things that are occurring for you that you would normally sort of bypass. But think of it, I'm being shown a slow movie. So think of it like when you're watching a movie, but it's being put in slow motion for you. I feel like that's what's coming for you, Pisces. And I'm getting chills on my head right now, and Spirit really wants you to hear that, because pay attention to that, where you're almost like deja vu. You're going to be getting a lot of that for the month of March as well. So just pay attention to that. And when you have those moments, know that Spirit's asking you to reflect on them. Don't just kind of like sidestep and be like, oh, that's weird, that was deja vu. Stay in the moment and really kind of go with it, because there's information within that space for you. So it's part of your advancement. So, all right, perfect, Pisces. I'll go on to Scorpio now. Hi, Denise. Thanks for joining. Glad you're here. All right. Okay, so Scorpio. So Spirit, what messages do you have for Scorpio for the month of March? Okay, and Scorpio, as I'm tuning in with you, I do feel an energy of a male figure. I do feel like there is, yeah, okay. I do feel like there's some things, this is crazy, you guys. So already, Spirit was telling me at the beginning that the messages that the general energies, it was going to pop up in some way stronger for certain spirit, like for certain signs. So we've got new beginnings and we've got release. Now I know that, I mean, those are the two cards so far for the different signs. So this is all part of what we've been talking about in terms of this energy. Again, it's kind of like the vomit. So, but in a good way. There's some energy that you're releasing, Scorpio, for the month of March. And I do feel like there's some connection to male energies. So this might be energies of a significant other in your life, some father energies that you're sort of working through. And as I say that, I get like, I'm literally going into my solar plexus right now, big time. So that just tells me that that's a hit, like big time for someone, that there's somebody is going to be really sort of almost kind of reflecting on some of the energies from a father and the way that you sort of were raised by him, and the feeling of just realizing that certain things are the way that you see the world through kind of that lens of what they showed you, and how you're making changes and letting those things go. I feel like there's some anger that's going to be let go also as a result of this. And it just feels really good in terms of that. And I'm also seeing that there's certain patterns in terms of relationships that will be rewritten, is what I'm hearing. And this is a really good thing, you guys, because I feel like for you, Scorpio, that there's certain repeated patterns that you've gone through, and you're like, why? And I feel like that's changing. So, and it's almost like I hear cut the bullshit. And so Scorpio, I feel like it's going to be really good for you. You've got some release coming. Super excited for that. Yay. All right. Oh, good. Your love story on fire. I'm so glad you have my deck. I hope you like it. It's, I really, obviously I resonate with it. It's my deck, but it just really speaks to the energies when I need to know what's going on there. So thank you for that. All right, so Cancer. So Spirit, what messages do you have for Cancer for the month of March? What do they need to know at this time? Okay. And Cancer, with you, this is interesting. I'm getting, it's almost like cutting the grass, and there's something about this sort of the grass, mowing the lawn, tidying things up. I don't know why I'm getting that. What else? And I do feel an older gentleman. It's almost like a grandfather energy. I feel like he might be coming forward. He may have, mowing the lawn may have been a thing for him. Like this male energy, it was like making sure the grass was being taken care of and whatnot. And graduation, you guys, we've got new beginnings, we've got release, and now we've got graduation. You guys, I'm just always amazed. Oh, Mystic Mandy, you're here. Oh my gosh, I know this is so weird, and I'm sorry, but I had a dream, and I was like, gosh, I need to see about you last night. It was so weird. I'm so glad that you're joining. Oh my God. I know that's weird, but sometimes I have random dreams about people. So it was good. It was good. It's amazing. So I'm so glad to see you. What a beautiful surprise. So for Cancer, graduation, you guys. So we've got, it's amazing, because this is all the stuff that we've been talking about. And I'm so glad that Spirit's just kind of validating it through the cards here. But for you, Cancer, there's something about it feels like there's some organization and things that you're doing to really kind of, ooh, and I'm getting chills. It's almost like cleaning the surface and this feeling of organizing things, getting things in order. And there's, oh yeah, there's a lot of energy attached to this. And it just feels really good. It feels really good for you guys. And so it feels like there is some accomplishment that's coming your way. And it doesn't even have to be big in terms of a true graduation or anything like that. But I do feel like there's going to be some things there. The other thing I would say too is that I feel like for some of you, there might be a situation with the house. And so I don't know if you guys are doing moving into a new house or what that is, but I'm seeing that as well. Let me just see, Cancer, what else do we have for here? Okay, yeah, and I'm sorry, I'm also getting, I do feel a grandmother energy that's coming forward. I feel like she would have, she was, there's a lot of them are into baking, but she's coming in and she's acknowledging the feeling of taking care of things. And it's almost like that feeling of when you come home or when you go visit grandma and she's got the food made for you and it's always like this comfortable feeling for you. That's what it feels like. It just feels like you're finally in this space where you're comfortable, and it has something to do with this transition, this graduation for you. So good stuff, Cancer. All right, perfect. So let me jump over to, I'm going to go over to the fire signs now, and let's see here. Angels, light, hi other stuff. Okay. Oh, thank you. You're amazing. Angels, a light. That's beautiful. Thank you. Hi, Tracy. Oh, perfect. Okay, so Spirit, what messages do you have for Aries for the month of March? Messages do you have for Aries? Okay. I'm seeing a merry-go-round for you guys. Immediately is what I saw here. Is that right? Perception. Yep. Okay. So again, Aries, for you guys, I'm seeing this a merry-go-round immediately, and it's this feeling of, it's kind of like when you're on it and you're feeling dizzy sometimes, and you kind of look around, and it's interesting that the perception card is coming out, because it's almost like when you step off of it and you feel like you're just kind of like, you can't see. There's that feeling of kind of being blocked in terms of being able to see what's going on because your vision. And there's going to be, it feels like there's going to be a little bit of a shakeup to the perception for you, Aries, for the month of March, but it's a good perception shake. So again, this is all playing into the energies that I'm feeling for the month of March, because it's almost like, again, kind of going back to what I was talking about, the energies, when you're going through this change and this purge and these things that are going on, it's like, I feel like you tend to look at things differently. It's like, oh, you know what, I never realized that this is how this was. And so we tend to get caught up in busy in our lives. It's kind of heads down, you know, keep moving forward. And I feel like for you guys that there's going to be that pause, again, back to the elevator, the feeling of like, you get sort of a respite to sit back and look at things from a different perspective. And you see that, you know, that how you've been looking at things is going to change. But again, I feel like it's very positive. So perfect. All right. So let's see here. Oh, guys, hi. Thanks for joining. All right. Okay. Oops. Okay, so now we're going to go on to, just want to make sure oh, we've got Sagittarius next. Yes, so Mystic Moon, that's you. I know you're Sag. My moon is Sag, so definitely. All right, so let's see. Spirit, what messages for Sagittarius? Okay, Sagittarius, for you, I'm getting this feeling of like it feels like there's some you're really sort of focusing on getting well in certain way, not to say that you're not well, but I feel like it's almost like the realization of wanting to better yourself on the physical level. So kind of like doing exercising more. I see you kind of like, you know, getting dolled up. I feel like this feeling of beautifying yourself. I just feel like this feeling of really kind of owning your sexuality and a new level is what I'm getting for you guys. So let me pull the cards and see what they have to say. Okay, there you go. All right, I love that, you guys. Okay, so solar plexus willpower. So to me, this is all about that, what I was just talking about, kind of that drive, that push, that feeling of like, yes, I'm going to do this. And so that's that motivation. So anytime that I like finally get off my ass really and start to do stuff, it's it's this right here. It's like I'm owning it. This is that kind of like I found my mojo. This is what kicks me back into gear when I want to go work out. It's the drive. And so your drive is kicking up, which is fascinating. Oh my gosh, Mystic Moon, because there was something about a car in the truth. So I'll have to tell you. Anyways, it was interesting. And so there's this feeling of moving forward, and definitely there's some motivation that's occurring for you guys. So it feels really good. It feels like it's a kick in the butt in a good way. And so it's like you're leveling up a little bit in terms of, but it's on the physical level. So really exciting for you, Sagittarius. Okay, so let's do Leo and see what Leo. Okay, so what messages you have for Leo. Okay, for you, Leo, I definitely feel more of a pullback in your energy in terms of like what I was talking about earlier, kind of that social media pulling back. I do feel like it's funny because I'm Leo the lion and they're kind of the roar, but it's almost like you're going inward a little bit. And so it's like kind of doing more reflection, pulling back. I do feel like there's going to be a deeper connection with family also as a result. And I'm also seeing, see here, they were showing me too, some of you Leos might be journaling. I feel like if you're not, it would be really good for you to start kind of capturing some things in a journal. And so capturing energies, because I feel like there's going to be a lot of things that you're sort of processing in different ways, and that'll be part of this energy as well. So what messages you have for Leo for the month of March? I'm sorry, sometimes it's hard to do these. Let the best shuffle a bit. All right. Okay. Oh, yep, there you go. Be here now. Okay. So this is amazing because it's very much what this is kind of the concept of what I was feeling for you guys, and your energy is very much about just being in the present, and kind of when you're in the space of here and now, it's more mindful. That's mindfulness, right? It's what the show in the now. It's all about pulling back and sort of being in the moment, and not getting caught up in all of these other things around you. And so this is exactly what I'm getting. This is what I'm feeling, and I just love that when the cards validate what I'm picking up on for you guys. It feels good though. It's definitely it's almost like the it's going to be a little bit of a needed respite, but in a positive way. So and I feel like you're going to come back out with a bang. Like I get April for you guys, Leo. It's like, okay, I took a minute and now I'm back like big time. So it feels like you might also be in the process of creation, and when you are mindful and you take a step back, it's like, I'm telling you guys that the information that comes to you, and the openings, that like spirit messages, that when you're just in the now and sitting there, you cut out the outside world, the distractions, and it gets really intense for you guys. So okay, so let me keep going here. And so now we've got Taurus. I think we have a couple of Taurus on here. Bell Goddess, Marlies. Oh, that's so sweet. Yes, thank you. All right, so Spirit, what messages do you have for Taurus? Okay, Taurus, immediately what I'm getting for you is I'm being shown, it's almost like the tree of life, and the trees and the grounding and the feeling of really rooting down to rise up. And so I feel like there's this preparation for you to prepare for, oh yeah, I'm getting this, like, as I'm saying that, I'm getting like really lightheaded, this feeling of rising up in a whole new way. but it's also seeing things at a much higher level. And so I feel like there's certain, the tree of life is really what I'm seeing for you guys, Taurus. But it's very much about grounding your energy and coming into a new level of awareness. It's like you're branching your tree, the branches of your trees are moving outward. So, oh yeah, that one that flew. Okay, addiction. Okay, so, and I'm going to pull a clarifier because I feel like there's more to this. So some of you might be going through something where, and I don't feel like, I mean, it very well could be, a substance, but I feel like there's something in the mind. There's something in the mind where it's almost like the feeling of kind of being on replay sometimes in life. And it's like you're stopping these thoughts. Again, you're rising above this energy and going into this more like you're grounding yourself. You're getting really like solid in who you are and not being so in the head. I keep getting in the mind space. So that's what I see for you, Taurus. Let me just pull another card and see what else. Okay, so opportunity. Okay, so this is amazing. We've got so many new beginnings, release, opportunity, graduation, you guys. This is amazing. And so this to me is really just talking about kind of the things that were creating a little bit of a block for you, but through that process, you're moving on with this opportunity. And so some of you might be having an opportunity coming your way. I'm seeing the number 5s connected here. So you might be seeing 555. And so it's the feeling of emergence for you guys. And so do pay attention for that. I do feel like, especially around the 3rd week, the 2nd or 3rd week for you guys, for Taurus, there's going to be some big changes coming your way, and you might just start hearing about them. I feel like at first you're going to kind of be like, nah, it's not going to get you all excited, but I do feel like it's going to become one of those things where you really, it changes things for you in the unexpected way. But you're going to have some resistance because it does feel like it's going to be a change, that you're going to be asked to look at things differently and do things differently. And that can be hard. Ooh, I just got chills. So that's the big confirmation for me. So yeah. Okay. So perfect, Taurus. So I hope that was helpful. And now we will go on to Virgo. Right. Okay, Spirit, what messages do you have for Virgo for the month of March? Okay, so I do feel like for some of you, there's some things with emotions going on. There's some emotions that you've been processing, and it's almost like I see that you trying to look at them from a different perspective. I feel like you're kind of, you're not in the water yet. So obviously Spirit shows me water in terms of emotions, but I see from where you're looking at them, I see you sort of looking at them, but not ready to go in them. So it's kind of like that awareness of, yeah, I know I have these things that I'm still sort of holding on to, but you're looking at them from a different perspective now. And so for me, this is very much about, it's kind of like if anyone follows Dr. Joe Dispenza, he talks about this, and it's kind of when you become separate from your emotions, but you're the awareness of them that exists, they become, you're able to see them from a different perspective. And so it's kind of like when somebody's gone through some things in their life, being able to see it for what it is, but not getting caught up in the emotions. So I feel like that's what's happening for you, Virgo, for the month of March. And spirit signs. And so what this is, Spirit is just saying that they're around. Look for these signs that you'll see. It could come in the form of butterflies, feathers. There could be number synchronicities, coins, but pay attention to those, because I feel like coins is going to be significant for you. So do pay attention to the coins for the month of March, because I do feel like some of that will be coming your way as to acknowledge the presence there. And as I'm saying that, I do feel like there would be 3 spirits that are coming together on the other side that are also in support. So it feels like a family of 3 that are coming in. So I just feel there's a younger male as well that's coming in with them, and they're just coming around. They're around you. They see what's going on. I feel like there might be a feeling of like wanting them around, like the feeling of loss associated. I mean, obviously they're crossed over, but it's the feeling of not having the connection, but they're showing me the round. One of them might actually be someone's husband too. So I do feel like almost like a romantic energy that's associated to this man. So this might resonate for someone out there. So that's what I'm getting for you, Virgo. All right, so Capricorn, okay. All right. And all right, let's see, Capricorn, what messages do you have for Capricorn for the month of March? Okay. Okay, so I do feel like that Capricorn, I feel like for you, before I pull the cards, I always like Spirit to just kind of give me some information. I do feel like this feeling of arriving in a new space for you guys. Yeah, okay, timing. So it's coming. Literally, I was being shown you driving in a car, and it's like you're getting out, and it's like, okay, the time has come, we've arrived. And so I feel like there's something, some of you Capricorn, I feel like you guys are in this space where you're wanting something to come in, this feeling of when's it going to come, when's it going to come, and Spirit's saying it's around timing. So it is coming, it is on the way, and this is just acknowledgement of it feels like it's in due time. And I do feel like the month, I mean, we are talking March here, so I am getting March, but there also is a connection with the month of May. And so it feels like there might be something, I don't know if you're starting this, I don't know if what this is, it's going to be different for everyone, but there is a significance to the month of May as well, associated to whatever this is. So, all right, so we'll go on to Aquarius. All right. Just you have the Aquarius for, okay, and so Aquarius for you, it's like this feeling of, I'm seeing these kind of kids around you. Now, if it's not literal, it's more about sort of connecting with the, you know, when you're in this space and it's almost like you look through the world through the child's eyes and you see things in a whole new way. That's what I'm seeing. It's almost like the eyes, the innocent eyes of a child. And it's actually kind of beautiful, and it's just there's a nostalgic aspect. Some of you might be reflecting on your past, and some of you might be actually, it's almost like I got myself a a strawberry shortcake doll, and it's on my altar, and I sort of I just feel like when I look at it and I smell it, it's like it takes me to my childhood. It's the smells, and it just makes me feel like I don't need to be so serious all the time. You know, as we get older, we tend to like have all these adulting things to do, and it gets really heavy. And I just feel like for you, Aquarius, that Spirit's saying that this is a month of sort of kind of becoming that childlike state again, to where you kind of look at things very differently. The other thing too is that, you know, the more that as we get older, we become more aware of the things that can go wrong. And so, for example, like I'll use the example for me, when I had my first child, I didn't think of anything, like I never knew things could go wrong when you just give birth, it is what it is. So my child carry that energy vibration of me, and she's not afraid. She was the only child that was not afraid to get in the swimming pool and, you know, do any of those stuff. As I got older, my kids, like especially my son, unfortunately he's afraid of like everything. And I didn't know what I know now, but I know that a lot of it has to do because I carried so much fear of what would happen to him. Like, okay, is the cord, you know, what's going to happen when I give birth? And unfortunately, that's part of those, when we talk about generational curses or, you know, belief systems, it's almost like putting that in the DNA or something. And I feel bad about that, but it's that awareness of like not allowing that information to stay within you. It's not yours, it's someone else's. And so I just felt like, again, I know that was a bit of a tangent, but it's really about looking at the world through the innocent eyes. It's what it is for you guys. So let's see what Spirit has to say in terms of the messages for you. Yes. Okay. All right, harvest. Okay, yep. So, wow, new beginnings. We've got opportunity, we've got release, we've got harvest. So this is really about, you know, you're harvesting the crops, right? And so this is all about sort of bringing in this new energy, this feeling of, I feel like there's going to be, some of you might be actually working on some creative works to where you're bringing things to light. but it's through the eyes of the child, right? So again, that creative space where we're not afraid to color outside of the lines, and then we end up creating beautiful works of art as a result of it, because we're not what do you call inhibited is the word I'm looking for. So there's some new beginnings coming for you guys as it relates to the month of March. So Aquarius, I hope that was helpful. So let's go on to Libra now. We've got 2 more. All right, Libra, what messages, or Spirit, what messages do you have for Libra for the month of March? Okay. Yes, strawberry shortcake. Oh, Barbies. Oh my gosh, I know. There's all those flashbacks, these things that are nowadays they're considered what do you call it, like the antiques or something, and it's like, those were my childhood toys. It's like, what's happening? What's going on? Okay, this card's flipped. Let me, oops, just fix these here. All right. I love it. The release card, I didn't flip these around, but in the deck, the release card and the spring card was flipped, and like, there you go. The spring is kind of what we got there. All right. What messages do you have for Libra? Okay. Libra, for you, I do feel like there's, I'm being shown, it's almost like there's 3 doors. There might be 3 opportunities coming your way. I do feel like there might be a decision that you have to make about that. And Owl Goddess, yes, I did do Pisces at the beginning. So that was the kickoff because it's the birthday month. Let's see. Yeah, so I do feel like there might be decisions that you have to make in terms of a path. I'm being shown 3 doors, and so there might be some 3 doors that you would have to make, decisions that you have to make in terms of the direction you want to go. And as I'm saying that, I feel like one of them is, well, I mean, this is kind of with all decisions, but the feeling of like one of them, you know, more of the path that you want to go down, like you want to, but you're listening to the outside influences. So again, it's almost like being in the now, cut out the noise. What do you want to do? And so I feel like there's a path that you're wanting to take, and it may not even be a decision where it's like being forced, like make it now, but it definitely is a decision around paths overall. So it doesn't have to be made immediately, but I do feel like it's one of those things where you have to start making some decisions about your future and the directions you want to go. So I feel like it's going to be, and you might be seeking out counsel. I do feel like there's a male energy too, that would be strong in helping kind of guide you in this decision. So whether they're in this life or crossed over, I do feel like their influence would be around you as well. There might be a monetary connection to it too. So let's see, Spirit, what messages do you have for Libra? Okay, self-care. Okay, yeah, so this to me is all about when taking care of yourself, but it's about doing what's right for you, right? And so taking that time to really be there for yourself and kind of cut out the noise and the fat of what's going on outside, and just be focused on yourself. Some of you might actually be taking some time and going on a trip, or like doing whatever for yourself, but I do think it would be good. If you're not planning it, you should, because I feel like, again, I just feel like there's a lot of commitments outside that are influencing you right now. And it's like, just cut out the noise. What do you want to do? And so, because I do feel like it might not, it's decisions towards the future and the directions you want to go. So I feel like that's coming in for you, Libra. Let me just see if there's anything else. Yeah, that's the biggest thing I'm getting there. And I know this sounds weird, but there might be someone that's getting a cat, or they might be getting a new animal, but I'm seeing a cat. So there's a cat that's coming in as well. Okay. All right. So let's see, Gemini. So our last sign, Gemini. Let's see what Spirit has for you, Gemini. Okay. Okay, Gemini, for you, I am feeling the feeling of abundance coming in, but it's coming in, it's trickling in. It's like you're building your success. It's coming in, but it's based off decisions you've made in the past. And I feel like it's trickling in is what I'm seeing. It's almost like I'm being shown but I also, it's the feeling of you giving to others too. And it's like some of your good karma and the things that you've done in the past are coming back to you. So I just feel like, I feel like that's going to be good for you. It feels like it's kind of the karmic payback of your good deeds in this life. So it's exciting, Gemini. So let's see here. Okay. Ooh, I just got chills. Okay, overwhelmed. Okay, so this to me is just, it's fascinating because when I started, before I started on the stream, I pulled a card and that's what I got. And it just to me resonated with the energies of what we're getting, what we're kind of feeling all at this time, right? It's the empathic energy of taking on these things. But so spirit just wants to acknowledge that this might be the space that you're in now in terms of feeling kind of overwhelmed and heavy. I mean, again, just go outside or go online and you feel that way. And so kind of, again, try to pull back from some of those energies. And I feel like there's some decisions that have to be made on your part as well. I'm going to pull one more card because that one, I just feel like is the general feeling for everyone for this month, but you guys might be picking up on it a little bit more as a result. Let's see. Okay, summer. Okay. So let me see here what Spirit's saying. So for me, it's some of you, it might be the time frame coming up that there's going to be some, it's that feeling of, okay, I'm also getting that too. All right, so some of you might actually need to up your vitamin D or check your vitamin D if you're in a space where you don't have the sun as much. I'm getting that for some of you because I feel like there might be this feeling, that kind of the feeling of heaviness on some of you, and that's a result of not having that exposure to that. But it's like the feeling too of kind of that summertime. When summertime comes, things are fun, everyone goes outside, we connect with community. And so I do feel like that's part of what this is for you guys as well. So I just feel like take a pause if you need to and kind of pull back from some of these crazy energies, because it is all around, but things will improve at the summer. And I feel like this might be answering another question that we were talking about at the top as well, in terms of we were talking about the yeah, with the coronavirus too. I don't know why that wants to come through in your reading, but I feel like that might be coming through as to say that there's going to be a lot of changes in the summer for the positive, that things really start to get to where we can all just breathe again, and the feeling of not being so heavy energy. I feel like it's coming through in your guys' reading here a little bit. So I don't know why, but some of you might be carrying some of that in terms of the energies and the feeling of the world around you. But I do feel like, I do feel like there's going to be some positive energies. You guys, I just want to pull another one. Okay, yeah, health, you guys, it's coming through in your reading. It's crazy. So we've got, this is, to me, is the answer. This is kind of amazing because I was asking Spirit to give more information about that, and they're doing that now. So the feeling of overwhelming, the feeling of the summertime, things kind of clearing up, and then with the health card, we've got that as well. So I do want to pull one more. Oh, no, they're telling me here to pull this card. Okay, so I'm going to pull another card from the Sacred Destiny Oracle. They keep having me look at that deck, and so I do want to, just going to see what the general energy. So Gemini, I feel like this is for you, but I also feel like it's for a collective for whatever reason they're coming through on that for you. Okay. All right. Leadership. Okay. So to me, this just goes back to what we were talking at the beginning, and I'm seeing a face in here. And this is really about being that light and being a source of energy of the positive, and you know, not when you're in that space of overwhelm and feeling kind of intense with the energies, just be the example. And it's really what we were talking about at the beginning, and being more in that space of positive light and representing that on behalf of other, and not kind of getting caught up in the masses. And I do want to look at the definition, because that's what I'm getting on that, but I know sometimes the definition will have a little bit. Yeah, North Star. Okay, so all right, just as the North Star is a beacon for travelers in the dark of the night, you are a beacon for others. It's time to step into the light and take a leadership role. You are a teacher, a steward, guardian, and a healer, a true leader. Own these gifts. Come into the light. Don't hold back. let the world see your light. The greatest leaders are those who know how to serve and act as stepping stones for others to reach their dreams. If you have been hiding in the background, it's time to break out and become the light for others. Through this, the stars shine bright. That's beautiful. So I just love that. I really love that for you. So what a beautiful way to end. I feel like, again, that was for Gemini, but I do feel like it's a collective message that can resonate for many people. And it's really about representing the light energies and versus kind of focusing on anything that's heavy for us at this time. So yeah, so I hope those readings were helpful, and you'll kind of get what you need out of them. And I'm just going to go back through here. What other cat? That's funny. Yeah, you might be getting another cat, Angela. So I just got a roommate with 5 cats. Oh my gosh, that's so funny. Oh wow, yeah. Let's see here. Okay. Yeah, thank you guys so much for coming on. I appreciate it. Like I said, I wasn't sure if I should jump on, but I'm glad that we did this. It really makes best use of time. So hi June, thanks for joining. Mars, Debbie C. Oh, thank you. Angela, you're amazing. I just have to say, I mean, seriously, that was, I'm just so excited to see you in here, because it's so weird that the connection there from last night. So I'm so glad. I wanted to reach out to you and be like, hey, so I'm so glad that you joined on. You must have heard the collective call that I gave you. So that's awesome. Okay, let's see here. Yes, I did all the signs, and so you guys can go back if you missed them. I apologize. You can go back. It'll be obviously recorded on there, so you can see it. So yeah, so thank you guys so much for joining. It was such amazing time. I appreciate. I feel I love the little community that comes through here. You guys are all amazing. I'm telling you, if just this community could send out kind of the light energies and love to the world, it could really kind of change things for us all. It's really, oh, Winnie, oh my gosh, hi, so glad you joined. Thank you so much, you're awesome. It could really change a lot of things. And you know, before all this stuff sort of started getting really heavy, I kept hearing that song, Heal the World. And now I'm like, I just understand why. I didn't know why. I was like, why? What is this feeling here? And I kept singing it and hearing it, and now I'm seeing so we can all heal the world just through our thoughts. And so send out prayers to anyone who needs it. Just go out and love someone and give them, you know, the positive energies that they need, and you'd be amazed at how you can really change the world. So yeah, so thank you guys again. I really appreciate it. I guess we'll be signing off if I can figure out where my where my thing went here. Okay, perfect. All right, well, everyone, I'm going to be traveling to Portland next week, so I will not be on, but we'll continue on after that. And the next time is on the 12th, and I'll be having a spirit artist. And so I'm really excited about that because she's amazing, Amy. So she basically, what we'll be doing is going through and doing readings, and then she's really good at, she'll be drawing spirit that comes through, and she'll have the picture for whoever it relates to, and she'll be able to tell you a little bit about them. So it's quite amazing what she is able to accomplish there with that. So I'm really excited to have her on. So all right, well, everyone be well, treat each other kind, and we'll do it again. All right, have a good night. Happy March.